This is the Desphere 13, and welcome to an actual episode of World of Tanks. This time, I don't fail. I know, that's really surprising. However, I really don't get the best of games, as I've tried to demonstrate. But, seeing as how the matchmaking that I normally get, I decided, you know what, I need to get through this light tank. I'm trying to fully upgrade it, max out the crew, you know, all that really fun and fluffy stuff. And 3 times XP, why not? I mean, most of the time I make around 500 XP per game, roughly. And I figured, you know what, that's about roughly 1,050 XP for a win, still a 500 on a loss most of the time, so why not? It's worth the risk, right? So my whole plan right now is to just get up into this hill area and try to spot for my team. The only thing we've got coming down this side is an IS-3, ISU-152, and a KV-5. IS-3 and the ISU-152, probably the 2 better players on this team, along with the Romatel Borsig back at the houses, making sure he doesn't get taken out of the game too early. And that is, we just pop out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1/3 of the enemy tanks have headed this direction. And I am not really expecting to get too far. Now, most of the really high auction light tank driving is, I am in crap situation, I need to get out of here, and I need to get through tanks, so I'll kill them on my way out. I was not wanting to get shot. And I don't know about anyone else, but I'd rather be able to at least get some spotting damage, because these guys that I have lit up, they're taking quite a bit of damage. Now, there's the artillery and the enemy team, and what was I thinking? Stopping out in the open field. 2 of them are FE304s too. I was surprised I didn't just get rebalanced. Which, I can't actually say this in this tank because it's not fully upgraded. I have the stock gun, I think I have the stock radio and the stock tracks. So far, I've got the engine upgraded and that's about it. I don't have the radio, the gun, or the tracks. So, I'm really not, 100%. I want the other gun, simply because, higher penetration. So I'm looking around, Tiger P, probably more armored than, this Tier 7 AMX-13, basically the last year's Wargaming Final Sports Tank, and okay, so about 1,000, well, not 1,000, about 200 some damage, 300 some damage, 400 some damage, 500 some damage, and I need to get the hell out of Dodge before he turns around and shoots me. And there's artillery, and I was about to drive on by, and then I went, wait a second, I can be of help. 600 some damage, my bad. And like, oh, no, you're aiming off to the side, and you get taken out. Okay. Definitely don't want to go around the front of that Ferdinand. So here's artillery up. He just fired. Can I get a shot at him? There's another one somewhere right over here. Actually, I think all 3 of the enemy artillery are. And ooh, there's one hit. And he gets taken out. Dang it. So, don't want to just, fly around the corner and go after the Tiger. No, because that would be, too difficult. So I'm expecting the FE304 to be further down, and ooh, he's not. Now that I think about it, yeah, there weren't 3 FE304s, there were 2. So he gets taken out. Well, there goes all the easy kills. There's a Ferdinand and a Tiger. Ferdinand's tier 8, Tiger's tier 7. And do I have a better chance of the tiger, but that's out of the question now. And, you know, 4 shots should be enough to, you know, distract the Ferdinand. I have no expectation whatsoever to kill this guy. Why? What? That's not a route. We're in the... Oh. Well then. That's interesting. 1. I've got 1 more, well, 2 shots to go. He's at 28 health. How in the world was I allowed to get away with that? Just how? Regardless of how I was allowed to get away with any of that is beyond me. However, there's one thing that I think I've learned. You don't really become a threat in light tanks until the very, very end, where the tanks with a lot more health than you, or in about the same amount, but with bigger guns. However, a light tank should normally get through the rear, and, or, you know, a very, very flat surface of a poor Ferdinand. I can't even imagine the kind of swearing he did after this game. But I feel like, for some odd reason, I demonstrated just what this little French tank could do. It could do a lot more than just run away. And to start over where I did, way over there, I felt like I was more of a burden to my team, to be honest. I wasn't really putting any fire in. I didn't feel like I was actually spotting the tanks, which I'll get to that later, but... And I was pretty darn sure that when that AMX CDC popped up, I was a little too far out and was about to just get blown up. However, I pulled back in time, went unspotted, dove down into the rocks, popped up, gave a little bit more spotting, tried to get it. Nice little shot into a T20 and was very lucky I didn't get, you know, rebalanced. Caught last year's esports tank completely off guard over in this area where, yes, he was fighting a larger battle, however, you kind of don't want to give another auto-loading light tank your butt. Because that's really not going to end well. However, and thankfully I should say, that the French Premium, similar to the autoloader esports tank here, also gave me a zero end, but as soon as he took care of the threat, he turned to face me and I bolted. And my ally came in, took some of the hits, and allowed me to put a little bit more damage in before moving on to bigger and better things. Going after the artillery, really kind of upset that I didn't get those kills on him. However, I would have done the same thing all over again just to get the kill on that Ferdinand. And here in the post-game stats, Quirky Baby's website seems to be a bit of a liar. I am definitely not a super unicum. However, with the result that I somehow managed to achieve, first class mastery badge, sharpshooter, which with an autoloader of that kind and the kind of hits that I gave wasn't too unnecessary, well, unearned, I guess. And 5 pens, yeah, definitely, when each shell only does about 100 damage. And you manage to, you know, hit 13 of 10. I would, and what was it? Assisted damage of about 2,000 something, and my own damage of 1,000 something. Coming second on the team in XP. Not far-fetched. But this right here kind of shows the difference between being top tier heavy, for example, and a bottom tier light tank. I didn't even do half the damage or get half the kills, but I only got about 400 less than he did. 401. And that's all because of this. That sweet, sweet spotting damage. Whereas, yes, he did 5,000 on his own. He, let's see here, detecting, only did about 1,200. Still pretty darn good for a heavy tank. And I'm not taking anything away from his lineup. He played great. He was one of the few tanks on the same side that I was that just managed to raffle stomp the enemy team. And what was really surprising to me was this Borsig. Either he stayed back way too long, or the battle just took off faster than he could keep up. Which, for a player of his caliber, I'm definitely not taking anything away from him either. But out of the 13 shots I fired, remember, I didn't fire an entire... well, I fired one whole clip at once. Otherwise, I was reloading. 11 hit, meaning two hit the dirt. One was at the T-29, if I remember correctly. Another one was towards the artillery. But I think one of you guys can go back and tell me where that other shot went. And when each shot does about 100 damage, it's, if I could stop getting the entire thing to highlight, 1100 damage isn't too bad. I mean, tier, what is it, 6 tank in a tier 8 game? Yeah, pretty darn good. But again, the whole highlight is this right here. That's a substantial amount of spotting damage. And at tier 6, that's got quite a lot of multipliers, considering that I earned 25, well, almost 26,000 credits. Only had to pay about 1,000 on, you know, shells. Didn't fire too many, leaving quite a large margin of profit. I've made more in this game than I think I have ever made at tier 8 in my VK, not 3601, it's like 4502B, the one right before the mouse. And again, massive light tank bonus. I'm definitely not surprised by the amount. I was more surprised about how well I did in the game. Still don't know what in the world I did right, but with World of Tanks' 5th year anniversary, 3 times XP is quite nice to add to what was already a fairly decent amount for a light tank. And this game actually got me the tracks of the tank. Just with all the games that I've played with it, at about 2,000. This just pushed me over and went, okay, tracks. Now I can go after the gun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to download the replay, just come to this right here. Well, I guess go to Quickie Baby's replay, search me up, and search for this replay. Click the download button. And if you enjoyed it, give it a like here. Or if you're watching it from YouTube, just go down towards this area, and I think it's this area and down. No, it's this area and down. Right under the premium and down. There's a little like button. Just click that to show that you enjoyed the video. If you think other people would enjoy it, just go over and click on, oh, what is it? Share? It's what? 9 something at night where I'm at. Excuse me for my stuttering, and repeated words, I guess. And if you have a replay, just upload it to Quick Baby Replays and or Woat replays.com. Either will work for me. And send it to me through email down in the description. And chances are it will be shown. Now, as of recently, yeah, I've been on-off due to school. I mean, there's, what, 11 days per class left on my 8 schedule 4-day weird setup. I guess it's weird compared to most of the US. But due to that, I've really not had the time to work on the channel. So, if you support me, go check out my other stuff and give the videos a like. That's all I can really ask for. This has been the Deathsphere 13. Hope you enjoyed the video. Signing out. Bye.